All right, welcome to another edition of In Conversation, and we got a very special guest today. We are bringing in Mr. Mark Evans here from Heaven's Edge. Welcome.
How are you?
Doing great, doing great. So, yeah, this lot going on now for you guys here. Finally, we got a brand new album. It's been quite a number of years since you made a new one
Yeah.
here, and why don't you tell us all about Get It Right, which comes out on May 12th on Frontiers Music.
Well, it's like you said, it's the first really full, recorded all at one shot kind of album in over 30 years. Because the second record, Some Other Place, Some Other Time, that came out was really more of a compilation of songs we had recorded as demos, songs that we had recorded when we had signed with Capitol after Columbia, stuff that wasn't going to go anywhere, and then it ended up all getting put together to be the second record. But this is really the first full record, beginning to end, since the first record came out back in 1990. And we were kind of surprised when Frontiers reached out to us, because the age we are, and we were Heaven's Edge. We weren't Journey or Night Ranger or somebody like that. And but they reached out and told us there was a lot of interest out there, um, and wanted to know if we were interested. And we were absolutely interested. A little nervous because we hadn't written like that with a purpose, and spent that kind of time in the studio. And nowadays it's not like back then. Back then that's all we did. Now we've got lives, we've got jobs and families and things, other responsibilities to get done. But when they contacted us, we were like, we were excited but nervous. And then the work came, but the work was fun. It felt good because we were nervous. Are we going to kind of remember how to do this? I mean, Reggie and I have been writing all along, but not for a new Heaven's Edge record. We've just been writing whatever we felt like writing. And so to actually go, okay, we've got to write a Heaven's Edge record. And we also know, because now with social media, how either the critiques you're going to get or the praise you're going to get is going to be very detailed now. People write reviews of records are even more elaborate than a Yelp review of a restaurant. And so we knew people wanted, a lot of people were going to want it to sound like the first Heaven's Edge record. I don't know how to do that. All Reggie and I know how to do is write what we write, and when the band gets together, we hope that it sounds like Heaven's Edge. And I think with this record, we accomplished that. I mean, obviously, technology is a bit different. It sounds a little different because it's digital. It wasn't on tape like the first record.
Mhm.
But I still think we did the best that we could to hold true to making this a follow-up, albeit 33 years later, a follow-up record.
Yeah, this is like the true follow-up to the first album in a
Yeah.
way, in a reality. So how did you guys come up with the title here for this for Get It Right here? What was it?
Well, there was a whole lot of back and forth, different things. And believe it or not, like last summer, uh, I forget exactly when during the summer it was. I think it was like the end of July. I went in. It was now my turn to go in and record. The pre-production was done. The rest of the band had gone in and done their part. All the rhythm tracks were done and everything. So now it was my turn to go in and sing. And that was 1 week. I did that in 1 week straight. Then the following week, this gentleman by the name of Jacob Bunton, who I may get into a little bit more about him later on, but he was producing the vocals. And so I'd sing the lead vocals, we'd do the harmonies and stuff. And then I'd be sitting at home, and I'd get a text or an email from Jacob just going, just sent you another one, because he would then take the vocals and mix, kind of put everything together so it sounded like it made sense, so everybody could hear the songs now with vocals. It wasn't a real mix, but a partial mix. And he had sent over the rough mix of When the Lights Go Down, the last release that we just put out, the last single. And we had been talking about it, and I was sitting out back with my wife, and I think my son and my daughter were out there, and we're listening to the song, and in the bridge of the song, um, the line "Get It Right" kind of stands out in the bridge of
Mm.
the song, and we're sitting there. My wife goes, "Wait, get it right. What about that?" And I was like, I like that. And I have a group text with the band. Hey guys, what about "Get It Right" for the album title? And within a few minutes, I like it. I like it. I'm sold. So it became "Get It Right" from that one line in "When the Lights Go Down." But it seemed fitting because after all these years, that's the goal. You know, we want to get it right. You you've got what's the old saying? You only have one chance at a first impression. Well, we also only have one chance at a second chance. So we want to get it right. So that we're not looking to be, rich and famous and go on tour or anything. We just want the people that know who we are and then enjoy the band to hopefully enjoy this next record. And maybe we pick up a few new fans on the way. But we did it because we wanted to enjoy it. We wanted to like it. We wanted to be proud of it. And then after it was done, we wanted people to listen to it. And hopefully most of them like it. Not everybody's going to. I've seen some of the, negative comments, but they've been very, very few. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, definitely from the first couple listens on it, I go, wow, this is great. It sounds like it, old school, yet a new feel to it. So it was pretty interesting. That's one of the questions I was going to bring up here now because of that. How did you guys go about with the writing process? Were these all basically brand new songs recently written, or do some of them go back a little bit in time at all?
The song "What Could Have Been" is probably the oldest song. And Reggie and I had written that, I'm guessing, probably about 12 or 13 years ago. And it was a song, actually, Reggie and I had put together a band, I guess it was about 10 years ago or so, called Ever After with some other musicians here in the area. And just to get out there and do some other originals and maybe a little bit of a different style than Heaven's Edge. And, just to write and to play. And we, enjoyed the musicians that we were with. And What Could Have Been was one of the songs that we did with that band, but it was a different version of it and a little bit of a different style. And we always loved the song, but we were like, it's missing something. And the guy Jacob Bunton that I had mentioned a little bit ago, he's a very, very successful songwriter and producer. And our drummer David suggested maybe we talk to him and maybe we can work a little bit with him, which for Reggie and I was odd because Reggie and I we've never worked out, outside of each other, except for maybe, an idea here or there that, somebody in the band brought in. But, Reggie and I were interested in giving it a shot. And so we spoke with Jacob, and What Could Have Been was one of the songs that we sent to him. We had a few of them that we just sent out, just going, we really like these songs, but we know there's something missing. There's, and the tweaks that he made, like in What Could Have Been, he did add a bridge in What Could Have Been, and he changed one of the lines in the chorus, was it. But when he sent it back to us and said, here, this is what I changed, we were like, why didn't I think of that? So the chemistry of working with him was no different than what it's like working with Reggie. He just fit with the two of us so well. It made it a great experience and really kind of energized Reggie and I. Because you talk about writing again, I'd say probably 60 or 70% of the record was written within the past like 2 years. Um, and which is also an interesting process. You can't write about getting laid and drugs and stuff like that like you could back in the 80s when it was fun. I now have to write like an old guy that still has a rock and roll sensibility.
Yeah, things have definitely changed out there, so you gotta, you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be politically incorrect or anything like that.
And
So,
that as well.
so let's talk about some of the other songs on the album. We talked about What Could Have Been. That was actually one of the ones I was going to talk about. So I'm glad you mentioned all that. How about the opening track, Had Enough? That was a good track right off the bat.
Thanks. Yeah. We were trying to come up with something that had a little bit more like oomph to it, a little bit more drive. And Reggie had actually come up with that awesome bass riff that the song starts out with, and the music just kind of followed that. And when we played it, it had just such an attitude to it. And that's another song that we did work with Jacob on, because I had come up with the chorus and the idea, you know, what we wanted the song to be about, but some of the stuff in the verses, I wasn't thrilled with what I was doing. So all of a sudden, this other ear is listening to it, going, "Hey, well, what about this or what about that?" And helped us to just, you know, to get that song and finish it. And we wanted to put it out first just to show people, yes, we are, you know, basically a bunch of old guys, but you know, we can still rock. We still have attitude. We still have, you know, the balls to put out something like that and be able to back it up. We're not just singing all melodic, pretty stuff all the time.
Right, yeah. And then another one, Gone, Gone, Gone.
And that song actually came together really well. It was a song when Reggie and I had written it. We liked the song well enough to present it to the band as one of the songs we were interested in doing, you know, for the album, because we knew the song had something. But it was also one we were kind of on the fence with, because the demo we liked, but it just wasn't that thing. But that became one of the songs when we got into pre-production and the five of us got into the studio together to actually run through these songs for the first time as a band, because the demos that Reggie and I had done were, you know, Reggie with a, you know, drum program in his computer, and you know, just him and I doing, you know, whatever instruments and vocals are on there, and that's it. So now the band is going to play it, and the band's going to put their own feel to it. And Had Enough was, or I mean, Gone, Gone, Gone was one of the songs that the first time we played it with the band, we were like, oh, okay, that's what it's supposed to sound like. It clicked with the band. And very soon went from being this song we were kind of on the fence about to one of the songs that was one of our favorites.
Yeah, and then the new one that's out, When the Lights Go Down. How did that one all come together for you?
That one actually, it's interesting because Reggie just put a video out on Facebook from a few years ago. And the story with that one is that when our original bass player, George Gadati, had passed away a few years ago, um, when he passed, he had he had told us ahead of time, you know, when he was sick, he's like, "Oh, you know, I got stuff I want you guys to have. I want you guys to have these things." And so after he had passed, his wife had contacted each of us, and for me, because I'm a bass player besides being the singer in this band. I was always a bass player before Heaven's Edge, and I play bass in other bands. Um, he gave me his stage bass. Is what he left behind for me. And for Reggie, he left behind his favorite acoustic guitar. And Reggie contacted me, I think that night actually. And he said, I got home and it's George, it's Gigi. He gave me this guitar. I tuned it to an open G and I just started playing. And this is what came out. And so he sent me the music for When the Lights Go Down. And I wrote, you know, the lyrics and the melodies and stuff, and it was called When the Lights Go Down. But it was written more at that time about uh, the George after Heaven's Edge, you know, raising his kids, being a dad, being a husband, that kind of thing. A little bit more sentimental, to say. Um, and then in the meantime of writing that song, George passing away, and us recording the song, it went through some more rewrites, including a little bit of time with Jacob as well. But in the time since then, one of my best friends in the world passed away for the same reasons that as George. And in the experience of watching George go through what he went through and passing away, but more, you know, what he went through, but then what his wife and his family went through. And then when my buddy Pete got sick and went through all of that, and watching his wife and his family go through all of that, and also what I went through and my wife went through going through all this, the song changed from what it initially was and was really more written for the people that are left behind. All of us, unfortunately, at time, and especially as we're getting older, you're losing, friends and family and stuff because it's part of life. But it's the song was written more about, what somebody's dealing with, what's left behind once they lose somebody, and what they go through to process all that. And in fact, one of the lines in the song was something that actually George's wife uh, had said to me when I saw her after George had passed, and we're just in talking. And one of the things she said to me that just stuck and just kind of hit me in my heart. It was, she said, "When will the memories make me smile again?" And that line is in the song because it meant a lot to me because it is tough. You lose somebody and you go through all the time that you're going to go through being sad and mourning and everything. But then at some point you do get to the point where you can look back and laugh and smile at the great memories you had as you get past the mourning. But that line at that time, a few weeks after he had passed away, just kind of hit me. And I guess really actually that line was really kind of what the basis of is
Mhm.
where the song started,
Gotcha.
besides Reggie playing it on George's acoustic.
Gotcha. All right. So you guys gonna have the album coming out May 12th. I've seen some things you got going out with M3 Festival. Why don't you fill us in about that?
Yes, that's actually going to be should be a lot of fun. M3 is being generous enough to host our record release party.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you've ever been to M3 or if any of your listeners or viewers have ever been to M3, but it's an awesome weekend. And one of the things that's also cool there is there's the few hotels that are in around where the complex is, and the one main hotel, which is where all the bands are staying, and the people that are the regulars at M3 that know to book the room way ahead of time uh, are all at this hotel. But a lot of people will gather because they have bars and stuff near there. And they said that they wanted to host our record release party. So on Saturday night at M3, after Styx, who is headlining the Saturday night show, is done back at the hotel, we're going to have a record release party, and I guess it's like the ballroom or something there. They're going to have a stage set up, full stage and everything in there, and they'll be playing the record. Even though the record does not come out until May 12th, we are going to have CDs there to sell. We are actually going to have some vinyl, I just found out, to
Mhm.
sell at M3. So people, if they want to come down, they can buy a advanced release copy a week ahead of time at M3. But we'll be playing the record in there, and then we're going to go up on stage and do a short set, a few songs from the new record, some old stuff, and hopefully have ourselves a great time. And then we're going to get up on Sunday morning and get our shit together, and we're going to go and play on the main stage, the pavilion at M3 on Sunday afternoon. I think we go on at 1:30 in the afternoon, something like that. I think we're on right after Mike Tramp, and then
Mhm.
Vixen is on, I think, after us.
Awesome. That sounds like a great time. I wish I could go there for that. That'd be great.
We've played it a bunch of times, and I've gone down there. It's a really great weekend.
So any other touring plans lined up or just some dates or anything for?
We've got some dates coming up. I know we're going to be playing up in Connecticut at the New England Festival in October. We are playing in, I think it is somewhere out near Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I can't remember the name of the town right now. Frenchtown, that's it. Um, in August, we're actually going to be over in Germany, in Hamburg, in September. And we do have some other dates coming up a little bit further out right now that I can't talk about yet.
Mhm.
Um, but hopefully more will come. The album's coming out, and so it'll should hopefully generate some interest, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, sounds good. Now, when you guys, obviously first started off back, it seems like if you guys would have came out like 3 years earlier with your debut, man, I think you guys would be in a whole different ballpark here right now. You just
Yeah,
missed it. It looks like.
that close, just that close. but
I
it's
mean,
it's okay. Life works out the way that it's supposed to. Um, Actually, the song "What Could Have Been." I'm just checking the clock because I thought I didn't know another.
mhm.
I saw a few minutes here. The song "What Could Have Been" was written about that exact type situation because people would be like, "Ah, you guys should have been this. You should have been that. You should have been that." But looking at it 30 some years later, I've got a beautiful wife, a beautiful house. I have three great kids. I might not have any of that if we were as successful as we had hoped to be back then. And I would never want to, the what could have been when it comes to my music of back then and how big we should have been and all that kind of stuff. I would never trade that what could have been and turn the life that I have into what could have been because I love my life too much you know, to give that up. So, like I said, everything worked out the way that it was supposed to.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. That's for sure.
And now we have all this going on. So,
So, any last things you want to mention about anything else with the band or anything here
uh,
before I let you go?
not right off the top of my head. Just please, people, May 12th, order the CD, stream it, download it, however you're going to get it. And, I think almost all of us, I think minus our drummer, are on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. Let us know what you think and be kind. Remember what your mother said. If you got nothing nice to say, say no. I want to know what people have to, what they think of it. Like I said, I'm hoping most people like it. I like it. And so hopefully it'll spread that way.
Yeah, yeah. I think you're gonna see a lot of good things of coming of this because when I first heard it myself, I had to do a double take. I'm going, man, these songs one after another, they just all flowed into each other really nicely. And it definitely also to me it just sounded like very old schoolish, which I really like, but it didn't have, all those where the hits were all, like spread out there. They were just good solid songs.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
So good luck with everything on that and
Thank you.
M3 Festival and everything, all your future endeavors there. And we'll look forward to talking to you down the road in the future.